we mentioned earlier, today is the feast of Saint Monica. She is a source of faith and inspiration for many, including Pope Leo. EWTN Vatican News correspondent Valentina Di Donato tells us more about a small chapel near the Vatican dedicated to her and dear to our Holy Father.
Among the many chapels and churches in Rome, the Chapel of St. Monica stands out for being a big part of Pope Leo XIV's life and journey to the papacy. Adjacent to the chapel is the Augustinian Curia, where the young Robert Prevost lived and studied when he was still just a student. The chapel is also the place where he was ordained a priest in 1982. When Pope Francis elevated Prevost to cardinal in 2023, he was assigned the chapel as his titular church. Father Angelo Di Berardino was here for it all.
When the young Prevost came here, Robert Prevost, I was living here. He was not yet priest, he was a student here. But living here, we lived together for a few years. But he graduated canon law in Pontifical University, St. Thomas. And then went back to the United States, then went back to Peru. Anytime he came back, he was here.
Father Di Berardino explains how the order found its way to this chapel.
At the end of 9th century, the Augustinians moved from the Church of St. Augustine in Rome, where is the body of Monica. They came here, bought a small building. This house became international residence for Augustinians.
The chapel itself was subsequently built in 1941. Even before elected, Pope Leo had a special connection not only to this chapel, but to the saint the chapel is named after, and whose relics are part of his pictorial cross. St. Monica, the mother of St. Augustine, is the epitome of hope and resilience, an example of how the prayers and faith of others can help people arrive on the path God calls them to walk on.
St. Monica was a great woman who stands out today for us as a model of motherhood, as a model of women who are struggling in their marital home, either with their husbands or with their children, because St. Monica did not have it easy with her husband Patrick, the father of her son, St. Augustine. She tried to win him through her love, through her patience, her endurance, her tolerance, and above all, bringing her husband to God in prayer.
Nigerian priest Father Edward Deleng lived here for 6 years as a student, while Cardinal Prevost was his superior. He shares his gratitude for the fervent faith of St. Monica, who not only devoted her life to the conversion of her son, allowing him to become one of the Church's most important saints, but also for her accompaniment along Pope Leo's path to the papacy.
He said it even the day he came out. He said, "I'm an Augustinian son of St. Augustine." So there is nothing much more wonderful than this. The order, we are grateful that the order, through the spirituality of St. Augustine, has generated a son and has given a son to the Church.
In Rome, Valentina Di Donato for EWTN News Nightly.